Hello, hi. Welcome to our channel. It's wonderful to have you here today. And for those of you who caught our last episode, this session is going to be on dowsing, and it's going to be a practical guide on dowsing, just as the last one was. But this one's going to be a little bit more in depth, and we're going to get stuck into some really great ways to use dowsing to get specific information and more detailed information as well. So the person who's going to lead this is our very own Tanvir Anowar, who is an expert dowser, and he's going to teach us everything we need to know and lead us through some practical experiences. And you can experiment and do this yourself as well alongside us. So over to you, Tanvir, if you'd like to introduce yourself and what we're going to be doing today. Can't wait.
Thank you, Ema, for introduce me with our audience. So today we will do the percentile dowsing because in the last session we have explored the basic of dowsing. So if you haven't watched that session, please go through that video. I will put the link in the description. And today we will learn more about percentile dowsing. So probably you might be thinking, what is percentile dowsing? So
Yes.
percentile dowsing is something we we douse something in a scale of 10 and figure it out how much the answer is favorable for us. So
Hmm.
it can be also in a negative way. So it's like how much it is detrimental for us in a scale of 10.
Hmm.
Because initially what we have learned when we are dowsing for yes and no answer, so we can get yes or no very easily, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't confirm that how much it is good. Suppose
Mm.
we are dowsing about uh, whether there are any detrimental energy exist in the storage room,
Mm-hmm.
and you figure it out that yes, there is a detrimental energy,
Mm-hmm.
and then you try to figure it out that how much detrimental is it for me. Suppose when you are dowsing, it is near about 5, 5.5. So you
Mm-hmm.
can leave it because it is not that much harmful.
Okay.
But but in a scale, if you figure it out that it is near 8 or more than 7, then you need to take a initiative to clear it. So it
Okay.
is not only limited for detecting energies. You can also apply the same principle for food as well. So if you want to intake any kind of food, if you figure it out that whether that food is good to eat or not, then
Mm-hmm.
you can douse as well that what would be the nutrition value of that particular food. So
Mm.
we will go through that today.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tanvir. I'm
Yeah.
excited to find out what answers I'm going to get and to find out more.
Yeah. So today we'll also need a pendulum. So I have my pendulum with me,
I'll have it right.
and you can also take an object on which you want to douse today.
Mm-hmm.
If it is a
Yep.
physical object,
Yep.
then you can show us, Ema, what
Yes, I
object you have.
have brought. Ta-da! This is one of my tarot decks. So getting a little
Fantastic.
bit meta there and dowsing, doing divination on divination. But yeah, I'm going to douse on my tarot deck, my Forest of Enchantment tarot.
Mhm. Great. So I will ask my audience to bring their pendulum and a object which they want to douse on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to pause here, you can give a pause and then we can continue from here.
Okay.
Well, let me share my screen.
Okie dokie.
Well, I think we are all ready now. So do you have your pendulum, Ema?
I have Tanvir, yes,
Yes.
right here.
Good.
I'll
Good.
get myself ready. Right, there we go. Want it to
Right.
too high up, or it might just kind of I don't know, get out of control or something.
Good. So today's session is on pendulum dowsing 101 part 2. So you can remember what we did in our last session.
Yes, so we did, tell me yes, tell me no. Is that where we start?
Uh,
Show me yes,
yes,
show
we
me
will.
no.
We can start there, but before
Mhm.
that, we need to prepare ourselves.
Okay, yes.
That's very much essential,
Yes, very true. I'm getting ahead of
right?
myself as usual.
So we need to be hydrated. So
Mhm.
if
Yes.
you're not hydrated, drink water. It would be very helpful for you as well.
Yes.
So
Always a good idea.
we will do the short meditation.
Mhm.
So if you have missed this part, so please watch our first session. There we you will get the idea about what is that short mindfulness meditation we did. So
Mm.
here we will not describe how to what to do or something like that. We will do it by ourselves.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we are now pretty much ready for our dowsing. So first, let me do something for you. I will show it because it is a little bit different than the initial yes no.
Aha.
So this you can see this is essential oil in my
Mhm.
hand, and I will douse on it. So first of all, I will figure it out whether this essential oil is good for me or not,
Mhm.
and then I will douse in a scale of 10
Mhm.
whether I can use it to inhale. If it is good for inhale, then how much it is good for me.
Aha. Very
Okay.
good. Right.
Yeah. So here you can see my essential oil, frankincense.
Mhm.
So I will initially douse on it to get
Okay.
a result that whether it is good for me or not.
Mhm.
But to douse it first, what is
Mhm.
the basic thing we need to do? Do we remember that thing?
We need to ground the pendulum first, don't we?
Right.
And then we need to ask the pendulum to show us yes or no.
Hmm.
Yes and no, so we know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So Uh, I've explained that wrong, haven't I? So we kind of move the pendulum one way, so it might be back and forth, or it might be clockwise or anti-clockwise, and say, "Show me
Hmm.
yes," and we're
Hmm.
programming the pendulum for that to
Right.
be yes, and we kind of focus on that being yes, and then we do it another way, move it another way, and say, "Show me no." So that's then programmed as no. So
Yeah.
then we know when the pendulum moves what it's
Hmm.
telling us.
Right. So for initial few months, we need to do that to get
Hmm.
used to with the pendular movement, so that our muscle memory can understand that what how to show and how to move the pendulum for a yes
Hmm.
answer, and how to show it for a no answer.
Yes.
Yes. So as Emma told us or explained us that how we need to do it, and so I already did it for my pendulum. It's already been grounded,
Hmm.
and I will start with the three vital question: may I, can I, should I? You can see my pendulum is here. So let me ask, may I douse now? You can see my pendulum is moving in the clockwise. So
Hmm.
that's mean yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I will ask, can I douse? Can I douse now? You can also see my pendulum is moving clockwise.
Hmm.
So that's mean yes. And now I need to ask, should I? Yes, my pendulum is moving clockwise.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So my three main questions are answered now. So I can proceed on for my question. As you already have set your intention, and
Mhm.
also you know what you need to know, so you don't need to say it loudly that may I, should I, could I. So you don't need to do that. You can just set your intention and proceed on. So
Okay.
now we will ask whether this essential oil is good for me or not. So
Okay.
you can see the essential oil is here. So
Mhm.
I will hold my pendulum on it. So my hand is little bit out focus. You can
Mhm.
focus on the pendulum movement.
Mhm.
Is the essential oil good for me? So this essential oil is good for me. You can see that pendulum is moving in a clockwise.
Mhm.
Okay. Now I will ask another question. Whether
Okay.
I can intake this essential oil or not.
Okay.
Okay. Can I intake this essential oil or not? So now you can see it's moving counterclockwise. So I cannot
Ah,
intake it. So I
right.
cannot eat it for fooding purpose or put it in my tea or something like that. So I cannot do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I will ask, can I inhale it? Yes. My pendulum is moving clockwise.
Mhm.
So that means I can inhale it. My
Mm.
second question, can I use it in my diffuser? Yes, you can also so see that it's moving clockwise.
Mhm.
Okay, so now we will come to our second part, that in a scale of 10, how much it will be beneficial for me.
Okay.
Okay, so in a scale of 10, how much it will be beneficial. So to do that, we need to define. First, we will ask, is it beneficial for me or not? That was our first question.
Mhm.
And our second question will be, so will it be beneficial for me in a scale of 10 more than 5? So yes, you can see my pendulum is moving clockwise. That's mean it is beneficial for me. So we already have filtered out the half of the percentage.
Yes.
So we don't need to do 1 to 5, because right now we know that it will be beneficial for me in the scale of 10. It should be more than 5. So the range should be now 5 and 10. Okay.
Mhm.
Now for the second step, we will douse it again. So will it be helpful for me in a scale of 10 more than 7? Okay. It's moving clockwise. That's
Mhm.
mean the answer is more than 7. So now we have filtered out more percentage, and now our result is more narrower. So
Mm.
we know that it in a scale of 10, the answer should be in between 7 and 10. So
Mhm.
now we will douse for whether it is beneficial for me more than 9 or not. Is it going to be more than beneficial for mine or not? Now you can see it is moving
Mhm.
counterclockwise.
Okay. Yes.
So that's mean in a scale of 10, the
Mhm.
answer should be in between 7 and 9.
Yes.
Yes. So my next step will be, is it going to be beneficial for me in a scale of 10 more than 8 or not?
Mhm.
So let me douse on it. Yes. Yes, it's moving clockwise. So it is more than 8. So we can assume that answer will be 9. But
Mm.
if you want to divide in a more segregated way, you can also 8.5, 8.75, like
Really,
this.
really narrowing it down and being super precise. Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
S- s- So now we can say that this essential oil will be benefited for me in a scale of 10. I will be benefited, and the probability is 9.
yes. Or between
Uh,
8 and 9 if you want to be super, super
Super,
pedantic.
yeah, right. So be more precise. It should be inside the range of 8 and 9.
Mhm.
So this is the basic of percentile dowsing. But there is another way to use percentile dowsing. So I will key. We will go for map dowsing later in the later part.
Mm.
But the thing
Yes.
is, in the map dowsing, we will use that percentile dowsing in a different way.
I think, Tanvir, that our own energy and our own wishes and our own
Yeah,
lens that we're looking through when we're dowsing, which is our own energy as well, isn't it? Is going
right.
to be affected if we really want something. And when we're getting into things like cars and houses, we'll probably have a bit of a gut instinct anyway as to whether we really want it or not. And so that can get in the way of our intuition as well, can't it? That can kind of cloud things a little bit for us if we're not careful. So, um, yeah. So
Right.
definitely any way of kind of grounding ourselves and connecting with our wisdom and approaching it in a really rational kind of um, logical and objective way is going to be the most helpful, isn't it, with something like this?
Definitely. And you
Yeah.
explain it very clearly. And the
Thank
thing
you.
is, sometimes we uh, start to dowsing randomly and we are not
Hmm.
getting answer. And we think that, okay, these things might not work or is not working.
Hmm.
So don't be judgmental. Practice. Over the time, you will develop your intuition and you will know that what message is coming from divine and what action you need to take. And if you practice more, someday you will feel that you don't need that any dowsing tool.
Wow.
So you can
That's
just
pretty
understand.
advanced.
You can understand that, okay, the answer, the answer I am getting from the divine is this.
Mm. So you
Yeah.
become your own dowsing tool then, don't you,
Yeah,
effectively?
the body is the
Yeah.
main dowser. So you
Yeah.
perceive the information through your body first, then it translates into the pendulum.
Hmm.
So uh, when we will be more aligned with our own energy, our body, then we will perceive the answer right away
Mm.
as soon as we get the answer from the divine.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tanvir.
Right.
That's beautifully explained, and that's really great perspective to have.
Right. So now it would be a good test session, I think. So you can
Mhm.
douse on your stuff as well.
Mhm. Okay. I have to say, I love divination, but because
Mhm.
I've always struggled a bit with dowsing. I don't seem to get I don't know. I think my approach, or maybe it's because I'm kind of more used to tarot and that kind of storytelling and the way my intuition and my mind works. It's not something that comes naturally to me, dowsing. So I'm
Mhm.
still very much a beginner myself, and I get kind of all kinds of weird results
Yeah,
and
that
things.
that makes sense. That makes sense. So I want to show you something. Probably I have missed this section in our first video. So the
Hmm.
thing is, initially when you were using the pendulum, then
Hmm.
what will happen? You will not get the answer right away.
Okay.
So it will just show you like the pendulum uh, is there, so it is not moving.
Hmm.
So it is like then you might think, okay, it is not showing me yes and no or any kind of movement, so that's mean it is not giving me the answer. So
Yeah.
you can see my pendulum here. So
Hmm.
what you need to do, you need to give a small nudge
Yes.
to get a movement.
Hmm.
So if you are just holding the pendulum without any movement, so what's that mean? It requires some energy to move the pendulum first, but
Hmm.
when it's get the inertia, then it will give you the energy reading more easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
I
just need
I'm
to
gonna,
give a nudge. So
yeah.
it shouldn't be in the positive in the counterclockwise or clockwise. Just
Hmm.
front to bottom. So it's just a small nudge like this, and when you have the intention, you will feel that it's start to moving clockwise or counterclockwise.
Mine has a tendency to go back and forwards, and then sometimes it kind
Mhm.
of changes the directions it's going just naturally. I think it's maybe because it's slightly imbalanced because of the shape. That might be it.
The thing is, it will tune with your body. So over the time, you will feel that what is the actual yes and actual no, and what is the nudge. So you just
Yes.
give it a you just give it a nudge. There is no yes or no question. It is like moving the car with a fast gear. So just move.
Yeah. I think I've just been told by my pendulum whilst we've been talking, and I've been doing that. Yes is back and forwards, and no is
Hmm.
side to side.
Yeah. So you can do a
So,
you can do a diagonal movement as well.
okay.
So give it a
Thank you, Tanvir.
give it a nudge, and the thing is, if the pendulum reading is back and forth for you for a yes answer, then stick to it. You don't need to program it in a clockwise or counterclockwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some people, counterclockwise is yes and clockwise is no. And some other
Yeah.
people, because when I started to learn dowsing, so I was also getting the result from forward and backward movement like yes.
Hmm.
So I used to get that answer, but when I'm getting more used to with pendulum, so
Hmm.
eventually I found that I get yes or no answer through the clockwise or counterclockwise movement. So
That
what
makes sense.
resonate with you, stick to that, but
Okay.
don't mix it up.
No, I'm
Because
not gonna. Yeah.
some
Am
people
I
think
doing
that,
it right? Maybe I
am
need
I
to
doing it
change
right? Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
So then you're
It's an extension, isn't it? It's an extension of
right.
me. So I decide, and it's going
Mhm,
to read my energy and move
mhm.
accordingly. So I just need to decide and not and be focused and block everything else out.
Right. Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. So,
So now it's your session.
okay. So I've done the programming bit. So I'm going to ask permission for dowsing. So may I? That's a yes. Can I? That's also a yes. And should I? I think that's a yes as well. It's a little bit difficult to tell. It's doing a bit of a funny thing at the moment.
Yeah, I want to add one thing. So when you are
Mm.
dowsing, what I have felt, you will realize that what would be the answer initially in your
Hmm.
mind. So, and then you will feel that suddenly it's showing you the result.
Okay.
So, stick to that intuition.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So,
So, yeah.
my question that I'm going to ask
Mhm.
is it a good day for me to give myself a tarot reading using this deck? Okay. That's a yes. You can see it's going backwards and forwards.
Good.
Good. So, my next question is going to be yes, my next question is going to be, should I give myself an overview reading? So, a kind of a snapshot of influences and information that's around at the moment. So that would be probably a Celtic cross or a tree of life. So I'll go for an overview reading. Should I give myself a detailed overview reading? Yes, that's saying yes.
Good.
So then I will ask, how accurate and precise is the information going to be that I'm going to receive from the reading? Does that sound like a good question to you, Tanvir?
Uh, it doesn't matter whether it's I am feeling that how I am feeling about that question, but
Hmm.
you know that what you need to know. So that
This
will
is
be more
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 helpful. Yeah,
important. And the
yeah.
thing is, you don't need to verify it. So just think
Mm.
it. You don't need
Okay.
to say it as well. But
I
for
think
our audience,
audience, yes.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
for our audience, it's also sometimes we don't know that how to articulate it properly, but
Mm.
we know what we need to know.
I do
Yeah,
think, though, that articulating the question can be a really great way to focus our energy and focus what we're asking. So, the question itself, because that's something that's
yeah,
really crucial in tarot, crystallizing and sorting out your thoughts can be
yeah,
a big part of the process. So, it's almost like you're shuffling the cards in the deck. You're kind of gathering your thoughts and you're crystallizing that question.
right.
So I'll keep I'll just kind of refine that a little bit more, I think. I think what I'm going to ask is, will the information that I receive, how big a bearing, how important is it going to be for me in terms of decisions that I make today that will affect the future? So I'm going to ask whether, on a scale of 1 to 10, whether it is going is that reading going to be helpful to me, to help me to make the best decisions for me for the future, um, between 5 and 10, or over 5. Okay, so I'm getting a yes for that, back and forth. So great. So thank you. Will it be helpful to me between a scale of between 7 and 10? No. It's back and forth, side to side.
That's
So
right.
that's a no.
Yeah.
So between 5 and 7. So will this reading be helpful to me in terms of decisions for the future? More than 6 on a scale of 1 to 10. More than 6. Yes. So it'll be between 6 and 7 then, in that case.
Yeah.
So thank you. That's really interesting.
Yeah, that means that you can rely on 60% on your
Mm,
readings today, what
okay.
you are thinking. So there is a high possibility that the answer which you will get will
Mm-hmm,
resonate with your clients, or if the reading is for you, you
hmm.
can uh, rely on 60% in a 100% skill. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. I wonder whether that might be an indication then that the reading is more for today would be
Hmm.
less of a divination
Hmm.
tool and more of a self introspection, a self examination, so that I would
Hmm.
connect with my own, my own feelings around what comes forward, and that would be the lesson rather than helping with what's coming on the horizon,
Right.
perhaps.
Right. So that's a very beautiful session today, I think. We have
Yeah.
learned about how to douse, and we also know how to do percentile dowsing.
Mm.
So if our audience has any type of questions regarding dowsing, percentile dowsing,
Mhm.
not only that, if you are interested about Reiki, we
Mm.
have Ema here. She is the Reiki teacher and also Reiki master, and
Yeah.
we can share our thought. If you have any kind of spiritual questions or any kind of blocking, we can also discuss it as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tanvir and I are very down to earth. We love questions, and we will give you an honest answer. It's we we're kind of explorers in a spiritual kind of way, and we tend to like to find information from different sources and to always be investigating and finding coming closer to the truth, whatever that is, wherever we find it. So you won't get um, necessarily a precise, this is the truth, this is right answer, but you'll more times than not receive kind of perspective and also our perspective and experience, and also a pointer to where you could go to look for more information for yourself, because ultimately we all have to find the answers for ourselves, but we can help each other along the way as well, I think.
Right. So, Imam, as we are at the very end of the session, and
Hmm.
you showed your tarot card with us, so
Mm.
can we do our next session on tarot reading?
Absolutely, I would be delighted to run a session on tarot reading. Um, yes, I'll do a tarot readings for beginners session,
Hmm.
and I will look at things like how to work with a new deck, how to choose your deck as well.
Hmm.
Um, and also the difference between kind of intuition and learning and the kind of classical um, approach to tarot. So again, tarot is an amazing tool, and it's also something that is very personal to you, and you'll be developing your relationship with the deck and with the process and figuring it out for yourself. So yeah, I'd love to do that, and look forward to seeing you all next time. And to if you don't have a tarot deck, don't worry about it, because I'll be demonstrating using my own. But if you do have a tarot deck, then please do have it next to you, because it's going to be a practical experience.
Right. Thank you, Ima, for conducting today's session.
And
And
thank you,
that's all for
Tanvir.
today.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. It's been so informative and so helpful. And I have to say, I have really found today's session has been the most fruitful for me for dowsing, and
Mhm.
the clearest for me for dowsing. So I think this percentile dowsing is really helpful for me personally. So
Thank you.
and I'm sure it has been for our viewers as well. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing your experience and wisdom with us and your guidance.
Thank you. So stay with us. Till then, bye.
Bye.